Hello, buddy, and welcome to the list.
That does not miss.
On part 4, episode 109 of Top Rope Reality. I'm Mike Hogan.
And I'm just a Kyle.
Now let's start off with the Top Rope Reality story time. Fathers and sons who won the same wrestling title. Chapter 4, Rick and David Flair, the United States Championship.
So at this point we have no... Who is Albino? He has a son?
No, it's just,
Oh, just because he was with the... I guess he was the manager or whatever? Yeah. So basically no Anawais at this point. No Samoans in this one. We go to Rick and David Flair, who both held the United States Championship. It's pretty crazy.
It is, I know.
We're discussing second-generation wrestlers who didn't live up to the success of their fathers. David Flair is a name that almost unanimously comes up. When your father is Ric Flair, I think this can be excused. David was on a hiding to nothing from the start. What does that even mean? I don't know what that means. Flair Jr. didn't really have any great interest in becoming a wrestler. And this lack of true passion, which is understandable, was clear from the moment he began to make his first in-ring steps in WCW. Despite this, David was able to capture the U.S. Championship on one single occasion, although he was presented the title by his father and only defended it with the help of the Four Horsemen. Father Rick won the same title 6 times during his storied career. His daughter Charlotte is the current WWE Women's Champion and is doing a much better job of continuing the Flair legacy of defending titles via cheating.
That is true.
I believe he was also a hardcore champion as well. Him and Crowbar were in the hardcore division. But yes, David Flair definitely didn't live up to the hype of being his father.
Of all 3 of his children, David's like the third one of being something.
Yes. Because even the one that did pass away was like very, very good at collegiate wrestling.
Yeah.
And then of course we have our new segment, the 15 WWE stars that failed.
Guy.
Number 15.
This man here.
Roman Reigns. So let's get to the most recent story first. Roman Reigns was supposed to follow in the footsteps of John Cena as the next face of the WWE. This guy.
That face.
But it all came crashing down. A failed drug test violating the wellness policy forced WWE to suspend their hand-picked champion. Reigns lost the title cleanly to Seth Rollins before Dean cashed in the Money in the Bank to win the title. WWE suspended Reigns, and his time as the guy has ended. Reigns will return and still have great opportunities, but there's no way his position as the most heavily pushed star will continue. This puts Roman on the same playing field as Rollins, Ambrose, Bray Wyatt, AJ Styles, and others in the upper card. It will take a lot to convince the company that he is trustworthy again before being put into a spot at the top of the mountain. The experiment is definitely finished for the time being, and Roman Reigns will likely be pushed down the card. And up next week, very interesting.
Yeah.
Next
you know what it gets this man to be?
Number 14 WWE star that failed as the guy. The Undertaker.
Yeah, so come on back for that one. That is a very interesting one.
Yes, hopefully he don't come and kill us for that one. So,
The Undertaker. Now we're going to talk about the 15 biggest matches WWE should have booked in the 90s but didn't. Number 10 this week, Sycho Sid versus Stone Cold Steve Austin from 1997.
Sycho Sid's role at the 1996 Survivor Series of Madison Square Garden helped usher in the Attitude Era, forever changed the career of 1996 King of the Ring, Stone Cold Steve Austin. As 1996 came to a close, WWE began booking more heel versus heel matches. Battles between Steve Austin and Triple H, Steve Austin and Vader, Mankind and Vader all marked a shift in booking strategy for the company that usually avoided like-sided matches. Austin did battle Sid in a February 1997 match on Raw, but it was a throwaway contest that went nowhere. Following WrestleMania 13, Sid was set to feud with Bret Hart, while Austin would eventually be put up against Brian Pillman. Despite being given the world title in late 1996 and again in early 1997, Sid had become unreliable by mid-97 and once again found himself out of the company by the summertime. Austin would go on to become the biggest superstar in WWE history, and that's not the biggest missed opportunity, but given these two men's similar personas and their loyal, massive fan bases in 96-97, a Sid versus Austin program would have been one to be remembered because Sid has half the brain that you do.
No, that's what I was.
The promos would have sucked.
Yes, but that's still.
Because Sid tried to do the thing like Macho Man. Have you ever noticed that? Sid tried to, I'm the master and the ruler of the world. He would whisper.
He would whisper.
The only one that got over whispering was Macho Man. I still never understood anything he said when he was whispering, but I was like, he's awesome.
Yeah, that is.
He whispered, but he's awesome. And he would turn away from the camera while he's talking.
And then you're like,
I can't hear you.
what?
What did you say?
The sound back then wasn't that great anyway. You're like,
No, it did pick up
please
on
talk
it.
in the mic because I missed what you said.
It did not pick up on it. But he was still awesome. Everybody loved him.
Yep.
So, and the other one that was quiet was Jake Roberts. But he didn't whisper. He was quiet.
I know. You don't have to yell every time.
You don't.
To get people's attention.
Amen.
You speak very softly. Listen.
Exactly.
It's like the EF button. When Jake talks, people listen.
Exactly.
You have no clue.
I know what you're saying.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Up next is the top 15 times WWE conveniently lied to us right to our little cute little faces.
Number 11, WrestleMania 7 being moved due to bomb threats. What? WrestleMania 7 was supposed to be a huge clash between Hogan and the Ultimate Warrior. With WWE booking the venue for the event at the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum, which could hold over 100,000 fans.
If you go back and watch WrestleMania 6, they already plugged they're going to be there for WrestleMania 7.
Very interesting. So they could have already beat their record back then.
Yes, they already. I mean, the biggest, the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum was huge. It's still huge, and it would.
Still there.
I think it's still there. Yeah.
Oh.
And they were plugging it already.
Right.
And
however, Warrior failed to get over as a babyface and was soon moved into a program with Randy Savage. Hogan was. How did he fail to get over as a baby? That part doesn't make sense because all he ever was a babyface. So that line I don't agree with, but he did move into a program with Randy Savage.
I think it's something with Hogan didn't want to have to face Warrior again, or Warrior didn't want to have to face Hogan if he knew whoever was losing. Hogan didn't want to lose again to Warrior, and Warrior didn't want to lose to Hogan, so we're going to switch this up.
Hogan was now set to feud with the heel Sergeant Slaughter, who was an Iraqi sympathizer at the time when the Gulf War broke out, which wasn't what the fans were coming to expect. As a result, ticket sales for the event were extremely poor as the WWE eventually moved the venue to the smaller Los Angeles Memorial Sports Arena, not Memorial Coliseum, Sports Arena, where the official attendance was just 16,158. How does the WWE explain the change in venue? Bomb threats due to Sergeant Slaughter's gimmick.
Terrorist attacks, yeah. That's what they left.
Wow.
Yes, that is true.
It's pretty sad.
It is pretty sad. It's sad and true. And yes, I was very shocked when Slaughter won the belt from Warrior at Royal Rumble. Because we knew he was getting that. Then we're going, okay, we're going this route.
Right.
But today, we wouldn't go that way. It's going to be a fatal four-way, probably. Which would have been a cool fatal four-way.
It would have.
To have Savage thrown in there because he cost him Warrior, Slaughter, and Hogan.
Back then they didn't do fatal four-ways.
They didn't do fatal four-ways because, Hogan's going to rule everything.
That's right. And number 10, we've got the Ultimate Warriors.
You're getting Hulkgasm after Hulkgasm.
Exactly. But number 10, you got the Ultimate Warriors WCW debut. When the Ultimate Warrior debuted in WCW, it was one of Vince's formerly top guys joining a rival company, which led to a long and slightly boring promo by the Warrior. And it was very long. It was like 20 minutes of just him talking.
Really?
So it was ridiculous.
Well, that's on their announcements. They added all the videos.
It was a huge moment in pro wrestling nonetheless, but WWE had something to say about it as usual. And WWE's revisionist history, especially in the DVD, The Self-Destruction of the Ultimate Warrior, which I haven't, and it was funny. They claimed the Warriors' WCW debut was a ratings disaster. You guessed it, it was anything but, as WCW beat WWE on the night with a superior 4.9 compared to WWE's 4.2. The Warriors segment itself drew a 6 3.4 rating, one of the highest ever in wrestling history, blitzing Raw's 3.1 rating for their Brawl for All semi-final match, which took place at the same time.
Hopefully they got fired of that, because usually they know when something's going on, they kind of book similar stuff to keep people's attention.
Right.
Yeah, I'd much rather have listened. I mean, I guess I did.
You wouldn't have known what he said, but you would have rather listened to Warrior than watch Brawl for All.
But I watched Brawl for All, because I didn't even watch the Warrior. I could go now and watch the Warrior.
Why would you watch a Brawl for All? Warrior.
I was just stuck on that.
Ugh, horrible,
Warrior,
sir. You were a WWE guy, that's why.
I'm still a WWE guy.
Boo to you. Anyway, next week, ringside news.
I know. More on Brock Lesnar. Will he?
Hopefully we'll have more
Will we
Brock.
know if his passive is done? Hopefully, yeah, no. It may not be.
May not
They
be
may
over
take
yet.
us up to the night of SummerSlam before we find out.
Right, plus pay-per-view review Super Brawl 7, 8, 9.
That's it.
That's it. WWE, the stars that failed as the guy. We're going to go over The Undertaker.
And the Undertaker, wow, no, that's a shocker. Top 15 times WWE conveniently lied to us. We got 2 more.
So we got number 9 and number 8.
That's it.
Biggest matches WWE should have booked in the 80s, but did not.
We're going, like I said, we're going over the Cruiserweight Classic Tournament first round matches.
And plus, also in part 3, we're going to break down the draft.
Yes.
Every draft pick. We will talk about every draft pick. We will tell you exactly who got drafted, to which show, who's the commentary team, who's the new. We'll also know by that time who the GMs are for each show.
That is true. We will know who the new. We're going to do story time. When we get the book out, we'll talk more who's father and son, brother and sisters, whatever, held the same
Right.
title.
Relatives, yes.
And plus so much more.
So much more.
For episode 110. That's a big one.
That is a big one. 110, ladies and gentlemen. We are rocking on along with these things.
We are 110. Can you imagine we got 100? I'm still kind of shocked. We're up to 110 episodes.
Right. I was shocked when we got to 100. I was
And-
shocked when we got to 2.
And guess what, folks? We have not reached the mountaintop.
That's right. We're going to keep doing it until we get it right.
But I want to thank you for coming back and watching this week after we skipped a week because somebody, not going to mention any names.
Yeah. Somebody
The
over
tournament,
there, Pierre.
the tournament bracket winner guy over here.
I did win. We'll blame it on Pierre.
We're blaming on Pierre. We always do.
He was out of town, too.
He was out of town.
He was
too.
out of town.
I know.
Daggone Pierre.
Jeez. I should fire Pierre.
Should fire Pierre.
But I want to thank you for watching this week. We'll catch you back here right at the same Top Rope Reality time on the Top Rope Reality station, which is Facebook.
And YouTube.
And the YouTube, which I'm going to just send YouTube and Facebook. I'm thinking backwards.
It's okay.
I'm backwards, so.
You can be backwards sometimes.
Sometimes, that's true. But come on back for episode 10 and on as we continue on.
Episode 10. Episode 110.
110!
Episode 10. You go back over, like, what, 2 years ago?
Don't go back to 1. Don't
Don't
go back to
10.
10.
I don't even suggest that you watch it, okay?
But do watch 1. I want to get those numbers
2
up.
is. Those numbers are very good on 1. I don't know why.
Look at 1 and go, wow.
See the difference in how great we're doing now.
Yes.
And all the haters that hated on 1, you're loving us now!
Yeah, that's about right.
Exactly. So your name is?
I'm Mike Hogan.
And I am Justin Carter.
And hopefully we may have a Carter's Corner if Enzo and Cass get broken up. That I can guarantee you. So
I will rant about it for at least
that'll
10
be more than
minutes.
just part 3 for the whole time.
Probably.
Enzo and Cass, why?
I'll just keep repeating their names. I'll be so angry.
Thanks again. We'll see you next week.
I know.
They are. They love the cats.